today we're going to do you are using the computer audio. Today we're doing something different. I'm going to do a little bit of an open call today, so I will tag a few people, and maybe we'll have a few different guests. Perhaps. Let's see what happens. Just gonna tag a few people here. A little bit of tagging. Hope everybody's doing well. Okay. It's going to be a pretty busy day, actually. I have 2 other guests coming on after the collective call, and it should be good. Should be good. Ehor, I believe, is coming on. And maybe we'll just get some new people, perhaps. We shall see. Jenny Constantine, maybe she'll pop on. I'm doing kind of an open. I'm gonna tag a few people and see who pops on. Yeah. Probably about enough. Probably close to. Dun 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 dun. Still have 1 minute. I'm not late yet.
Never late.
Never. Omar is real happy that we're doing Zoom.
Why not?
You should be happy that we get to chat with Fabian again.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Poor Fabian.
Poor Fabian, all by himself out in the woods.
He's fine. He likes it that way.
I know. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, that's enough. And then I shall, okay, invite, copy Earl. Is the audio okay? Hey, first name, last name, what's up? You didn't get notified, that seems pretty normal. YouTube is not a big fan of allowing its creators to, you know, create. One viewer. I wonder how I can fix that. You know, the thing that actually lets my viewers know when I'm live.
It has a mind of its own.
There's for Omar. And let's go to Facebook.
Get your face fucked.
Invite a few people via the Facebook. I don't need a fresh, simpler Facebook. No. Stop.
I'm not a toddler.
I'm not a toddler. I'm the boss of my own self, Facebook. Okay. Okay. Crap. Dead. Dang it. Okay. So there's that one. And let's go to Messenger. Oh. There's that one. And there's that one. Daniel is not going to be here, so I don't need to worry about him. Ha ha ha. That's beautiful. That is lovely. Okay. Why is Facebook reorienting itself? There's that one. Alright. Oh, we need to turn that noise off. There we go. Spencer might come. Hey Thomas, hey Glenn. What's up everybody? Yeah, this is an open edition, so anybody that wants to jump in and have a chat, the link is available. my coffee. Got my cat. Where's that cat? Cat. Where you be, kitty cat? Meow.
That air's gonna keep turning on.
I know, I don't know why it's doing
Just
this.
shut the door. It's because it feels moisture in the air. It feels like it has to get out.
Is there moisture?
Yeah.
Say hello to ZZ Spazin. The crazy. She's half Spazin and she's half Zen.
She's half spaz.
Half Spaz, half Zen. Rin has arrived. Okay. Alright. Rin is connecting to audio. YouTube, tell my people that I'm live. That would be helpful. Glenn Pendragon. I haven't seen you around. Are you new? It says I have one viewer, but I have like 3, 4 different comments. YouTube is telling lies. I don't know why. Oh wait, I do know why. That's a joke.
Don't worry about the viewers.
I know, I don't care. I don't care at all. Hey Roger, welcome.
It says you have 11.
It tells me I have 1.
No one listens to it.
Why is everyone lying in this realm? This is ridiculous. Just don't lie so much. And now where did Rin go? Well, maybe it's just gonna be me and Spazzy. Spazzy, what do you want to talk about?
I exist.
And Andrea. Well, why don't you come show your beautiful face to the people then? Come on. Well, somebody else is gonna come in. Or else it's just gonna be me and you and the cat and the coffee. And maybe some catnip tea. What is going on? Omar should be here. Omar has arriven. Alright. Hey Omar.
Hey.
Welcome. Welcome to the space.
Is this Sleepy Kitty and freshly showered Gary?
Mm-hmm. Freshly buzzed as well. I got my beard was literally like 1.5 inches long and it was starting to buzz me.
Well, I got rid of my mustache last night.
Oh yeah. Looking fresh.
But what happens is when it gets too long, you start you're eating, and you end up almost, it's not like you're actually going to eat the hair, but it gets in past your lip and you're like,
yeah, right?
what is that? That's not what I'm eating.
Well, it starts, at that point it starts acting as an effective screen for COVID, right?
You don't want to get me started.
Hey, Mr. West. Hey, Beth. Okay, YouTube is lying to me and telling me that we only have 1 viewer, but there's 12 people.
Oh, so Gary, I got an interesting email this morning.
Yeah? Hey, Beth.
There's a contact form on the bottom of my drives.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case somebody wants to email, has a question or something.
Oh, if they want to email you?
Yeah. Well, every site has about us, contact, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
At the bottom. But anyway, so it's a form, and you can fill it out and send a question. So I get this email, and it says, "Dear Administrator, you were contacted by Reed with the email reedb@gmail.com. Who are you? First, please do not be insulted by this question. Apostrophe. I was recently sent to your site as an alternative to Facebook. Before I commit time and energy, I would like to know how I might be able to determine that you are not another front for monitoring and censorship. If what you are about is more surveillance capitalism, could you just let me know so I don't bother with your site? answering this question for a number of other people who are interested as well. Thanks.
That's weird.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Hey, Jojo.
And so, what's that?
We have Jolene here. It's an open forum today, so whoever wants to come in can come in.
So I'm just gonna read you my response and then shut up.
Okay.
Hey man, good morning. I actually don't even know what surveillance capitalism is, but I'll tell you this. I'm an artist, I paint, draw, make music, write poetry, etc., and I do geek shit in my spare time. But all of it is designed and intended to uplift other people, and I just have fun doing it. This is a project that's been about 20 years in the making for me. The last time I voted was in 2004, and 4 years before that I threw away my television. I've been researching how I want to do this website since then, reading as much as I possibly could, amounting to tens of thousands of pages of books, articles, and tracking current events and trends through space-time. In short, the world needs to change. A lot of shit is really, really fucked up right now. And this is my attempt at fixing things, slowly, without trying to, quote, start a revolution, unquote, in the sense that amounts to people attempting to overthrow the government. That's not the solution, if you ask me. Sure, they're crazy, but they also do a lot of good things. Most people under 21 don't even currently know how to properly dig a hole in the ground to make a home-cooked meal. If the government suddenly disappeared, the world, like it or not, would be in deep shit with the amount of practical knowledge people have across multiple disciplines. This website is an attempt to begin to unify people through the arts, through commonality, through quest for knowledge, through the enjoyment of a heartfelt conversation, through the regularity of having a new friend to talk to and to get to know as a person. Through teamwork, we can fix this fucking world, I think. There are a lot of features in there right now, and there are a lot more things planned, like the ability to teach a class in a private group, sell your services like Reiki or consulting right there on the site, make event listings, and more. It's all being rolled out and tested, and so far, so good, everything works. Oh, and I've probably done more acid than you, but that's not even the point. The point is I'm just a down-ass, humble, regular dude who reads a lot of books, loves to cook, loves people, and sees a lot of inequity and fucked up shit in my world that simply has to change. People need to learn things, people need to trust themselves, people need to work together, and people need to stop eating fucking Frankenstein's food that fucking lobotomizes them to the point where they need someone to tell them how to wipe their own asses. Smiley face. Hope this helps. Feel free to publish my response somewhere so that I can all read it at once. Look forward to seeing you join Walmart.
That's probably a much more detailed response than the question warranted, but it's good. Yeah.
Oh, I know, that's the point, but the other end of evangelism is actually telling people why you're doing what you're doing, so...
Hey, yeah. No, it's good. That was a good response. Well articulated. Jojo,
thanks for letting me read it. I wanted everybody who follows your YouTube shit to actually hear that in one chunk. So
yeah. It's good. It is good to.
Sorry. And YouTube folks, the website is mytribes with an S.net. Okay, sorry. Go for it.
Jojo, you need to press unmute on your end because we can't hear you at all. Ah, there you go. There you are.
Ooh,
Okay.
Oh, is this JoJo Seebacher?
Yeah.
How are you?
Hey, how are you?
Hi, Ren.
Dr. Beans.
Yeah, on Facebook I'm Rama Rima,
Rama Rima, nice to meet you, bro.
but that's not my name. It's actually Omar. Hi.
Hi, Omar. Sorry, man. What's the topic about today? I just saw the link. I just logged online. I just got back from the long walk, and I saw Gary's tag, so I thought I'd check it out. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about. I titled it "Remember Who You Are." That's my. I know that's a very cliche thing to say, and everybody says that, but it's still true.
It's actually good because I have a little campaign to try to remind humans that they're human. Try to remember that you're human.
Yeah.
I think people have forgotten their humanity. They've forgotten their ethics and morals and virtues, that common thing. We can all disbelieve, we can all disagree, but what's the common thread? You know, the common thread is ethics.
Tell me more. I just started a website that I'm hoping to teach people how to rehuman themselves with.
Rehuman ourselves. Yeah, Omar, we need to rehuman ourselves. We need to let people be authentic with their expression. Like, I swear a lot, or I'm loud, and, you know, I might talk to a very soft person, and we disagree with the way each one of us, or, I don't know, maybe don't meld with the way we each speak, right? We're polar opposites. But what's that common thread that makes us unite? And it's just the value of a human being, the value, the integrity, the virtue, the morals in that individual, so the loud Leo can get along really well with the soft Pisces.
Hi, Thomas.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really interesting because above all else, we all want to be loved and accepted by first ourselves and then by other people, or at least appreciated and seen.
Yeah, and, you know, everybody's so injured because, Omar, I believe they haven't been able to have a full expression of themselves. So they get shamed if they get angry, or they get shamed if they're depressed, they get shamed if they're lonely, or they self-shame for all those things, right? Because we've been taught that just feels shameful. So if we can't accept people that they get angry or depressed or they're lonely, you know, I'm all about like Hulk smashing things, that people should feel safe in that. That's how you gain the acceptance, by not shaming somebody for those quote unquote negative emotions. Hey, Thomas, my brother.
Yeah, I fully agree. That's stuff that I think quite a lot about. Hey, good morning, Thomas. How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Excellent.
Hi, JoJo.
Hey, Thomas, I love you, brother.
Hey, hi.
Hi, Ren.
Oh,
Hi,
yeah,
Thomas.
good morning.
Gorgeous goddess. I'm JoJo.
Jojo, I think most people know you, Jojo. I think Omar's the only one who is not super familiar with you yet, but I've had Jojo on quite a few times, and she's been very vocal in trying to wake the slumbering masses.
I see her all around. I see her all around the Facebook, but I've never sent her a friend request because our paths have never crossed directly. But yeah.
Well, here you go. This is the time.
I know who she is. I think I can even spell her last name. Seibachr.
Close. S-E-E. Seebacher. Seebacher. You know, guys, like right now we're all in this quarantine and we're being forced in this Gemini energy. I mean, there's so much Gemini in the chart, and that's all about your mind and Mercury communication. So it's kind of forcing everybody to split their minds open and awake in different ways, where they can, like, there's the whole world is angry, depressed, lonely, upset, anxiety filled, and they're all like having to look at this ugly feeling now. So I've been teaching like to accept this stuff for like 35 years, and I'm finally like, oh, in a way I'm so glad this is happening, so people can understand that we're all human. We're all human, and we all have those feelings. We all get lonely. We all get pissed off. We all lose our shit. And I think it's going to show the population of the world, like, it's okay. You know, it's going to unite families when somebody has those breakdowns. It's going to make people understand a whole lot better that we are human, and these emotions have to be vocalized. These negative emotions have to be vocalized, and that's the full acceptance, the full feeling of not being rejected for who you are. My perception of it. I don't like it. I mean, I don't like what's going on at all, but in so many ways it's a really positive thing.
Jolene, has your hometown situation changed at all? I know you were saying the lockdown is pretty severe where you're at.
It's severe, Gary. It's severe here. The parks aren't taped off anymore, thank God, but the sirens still go every day. The helicopters are nuts. The police presence is constantly out, but they're not outside their vehicles. You can just see the vehicles going around. And, you know, it's just a very odd society because everybody's so mask happy. You know, they're so fearful of the mask, but it's breaking up with the people, I think. The people are being more open, but still they're all, you I'm in a little tiny town of very close-minded people, so it's kind of frightening here.
What's your town again?
Oh, up the road from me.
What is it called, Jolene? What's the town called?
Stroudsburg, Stroudsburg, and about 30 miles southwest of me is a military base called the Toby Hanna Army Depot. And it's a huge military installation. Even up the road from me, about 20 miles away, we've got all these factories of, believe it or not, places called like Louis Pasteur, where they make viruses, where they make they make this shit. So I'm like
Pennsylvania? Yeah.
Are you in the Stroudsburg that's in the Poconos?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's about as conservative as you can get without moving to Tennessee.
You nailed it. Yeah.
A friend of mine grew up right around the corner from Berwick-Bowes.
Yeah, I kind of stick out like a sore thumb here in my town.
You remember that factory when you were growing up?
Well, I didn't grow up here, Omar, so I came here as a teenager, but I was in programming for most of that time, and left when I was a teenager. Came back here, I don't know, 20-something, 28, 29 years, 30 years ago, and had a kid, and lived a married life. So I don't remember factories that are here prior to me being 16 years old, 20 years old, 16, 20.
Oh, okay. This was pretty much the largest manufacturer of ribbons and bows that went on birthday presents.
Yes, I do remember now. My brother, I think, worked for that factory, dude. Holy hell. You're jogging back my, history book now. Yeah, oh my God, I think my brother worked there, but I think there was a lot of factories with sewing and making shirts and those little emblems for Izod here for a while. I mean, even all the factory work is going to be very Aquarian in the next, 35 years here. So even what do they call those places where they hire part-time people? Temp services.
Temp agencies.
Yeah, temp agencies. We got tons of those in this area. So if you take a walk past one of them, all you'll see in the windows is factory work. We got an Amazon center up here too, and a Walmart center. Shipping center.
A lot of that stuff had to shut down in the 50s, 60s, and 70s to avoid basically turning into another Centralia. Because your entire state is like sitting on a giant fucking coal deposit.
It's weird here, Omar. As many of there's factories here, it's all very country people, and you just never see beyond your own little tiny community. So we're like this tiny little town with factories and nothing else. And then beautiful country road for miles and miles and miles of nothing but country. And then you'll hit a factory,
And so that brings me to a perfect question and a perfect point, which is so many people think that the point here is moving off to a slice of land somewhere is not going to solve your problems. We have to take a hybrid approach because we've all been westernized. We have to learn to love ourselves first and love our neighbors, just without getting religious, because I'm not. Just like the Bible said, love your neighbor. And basically we all have to learn how to be human together. There's a lot of us here, we like the places where there's water. 98% of people live on 2% of Earth's landmass. But, weird things happen to your head when you live somewhere where you're not around other people. You sort of lose track of things that are different. And then when you see them, they're shocking. So I had a friend that lived in the woods for 3 years, and he was just dying to come back. And he lives down here now, and he's very happy. But he was about ready to climb the tallest tree he could find and just jump off.
Really?
Yeah.
not easy.
So
He had built a house out there, and he
Wow.
was actually up in Seattle, up in the woods.
So he was going crazy from isolation?
Yep. Believe it
Yeah.
or not.
You know, I feel like that's a big part as far as the sort of nefarious aspect of the agenda. A big part of it, I think, is to try to isolate people, because if you're isolated, what does that do? It amplifies your own internal angst about what's going on is just going to amplify. Talking with people,
Yeah.
like being able to.
Have you ever...
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, you're right. Go ahead.
Well, especially right now, Gary, because we're all isolated indoors. We're mandated with these invisible bars indoors during a sky filled with such mind stuff in Gemini. So if we weren't quarantined right now and dealing with this astrology, we could do much better being outside of our invisible bars in a regular life. We could handle the thinking much better. But being forced in this time, at this time with the astrology in the skies, it is going to be heavy duty on a lot of people, bro. You know, it is like it is planned. It was planned this way.
Hey, Gary.
I've wondered with the amount of suicide that we're facing, people to commit suicide. You know,
I heard
down in December.
notorious for sort of the drug scene, but it's like everyone has, even the homeless people, they have sort of systems that they set up to make their day feel somewhat normal, and if the scene changes as drastically as it has because of CV, then even their sense of normalcy is disrupted. I think that's what most people are facing now, is there isn't a baseline anymore for people to glom onto, so people are being forced to actually look and examine their own lives, where they don't have like the fake, like we talked about this, Andrew and I talked about this a couple minutes ago, the TV gives you a reality, it gives you a false reality, like through sports, through movies, through everything. You don't even have to live your own life, you're vicariously living through those characters, and when that thing gets pulled out a little bit, like you can't watch NBA, you can't watch football, you can't go to games anymore because the stadiums are closed. Like, you have to actually create your own life now, and nobody has, for the most part, people have not been creating their own lives. They've been going to work, coming home, getting drunk, smoking cigarettes, and like forgetting that they even exist for the most part.
That's really interesting. Before I forget from a second ago, have you a copy of the Psychological Operations Field Manual?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll make sure you know how to find that.
Okay.
It's good reading. Yeah, that's actually really interesting that you mentioned that thing about the TV, because what you just pointed out is something I hadn't considered, because I'm so far removed from that reality. Like, I create my own reality.
Mm-hmm.
So most people don't have a routine now, and they're looking to be told what the new normal is.
Right. Like,
so they're like looking for programming, and they're freaking out, and they're like, what do I do? What do I do?
and you know,
they're telling us this is normal now. Let's do that.
You know, I think that's half of the mask thing. It's not just about. I don't like the fear mongering thing. I'm not ever about it. I try to see, deeper into everything that's happening, and I feel like the mask thing, it's also partially filling that void where people don't have a narrative anymore. So now at least they can look around and they have solidarity with people that are wearing masks. Aside from the fact that, the supposed particulate matter is smaller than the holes in the N95 mask, let alone your homemade knit masks. Like, aside from any of the science of it, which doesn't support wearing a mask, period, for such a so-called virus, it's filling the void for people who their baseline has been just taken away. It's giving some sort of solace, I guess.
Remember a few weeks ago when I was going off on a long tangent about how I was convinced this whole thing is about economic restructuring?
Mm-hmm.
It is.
If you needed to do something like that, and you needed a way to keep everybody from everybody, meaning most people, figuring out what you're doing, you would give them something else to do. So this is a fun game. Everybody gets to put a mask on and be worried about dying, and meanwhile they get to do the managerial stuff that they were going to do anyway, but it's just much easier now because they don't have people. Okay, so in a nutshell, what they're trying to do is not bad. It's just they have literally the most impossible job. They've put themselves in the position of being in charge of the world's. It's like they've assumed that they're everybody's parents.
Mm-hmm.
And we're so many generations in at this point, based on a plan that they started in our 1890s, that we don't have collectively in 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 generations, we've lost the oral tradition and we don't know how to wipe our own asses anymore. So right now, they actually do have a pretty important job, and it's a really fucking hard job. I wouldn't want that job.
Yeah. It's the nanny state is trying to be a parent, and it doesn't know how to exactly. Spencer, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're a little bit quiet, but yes. Welcome, Spencer.
It's the guy that I think looks like he belongs in a band. Spencer, do you play guitar?
Guitar, drums, bass, and keyboard.
Well, you just need a 4-track then, and you are a fucking band.
I think so. I mean, I've got music creating programs and things, but I'm lazy. Masterfully lazy.
Mm-hmm.
You look like Aquaman. You look like that actor Aquaman. You're gorgeous. Gorgeous faces in this room. You're all gorgeous faces. So thanks for sharing time with me, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for you.
Oh, such nice faces to look at.
Come on, internet.
Like it. It's fucking
I was just going to say, dude, you look like Stone, but in a good way.
No, actually, not today.
Aww.
I've been out for a little bit, so I am bringing myself back.
It must
to
be
center.
the after
I just
glow.
booked-
I'm just teasing.
That's fine. I'll live.
You been good though?
I mean, as good as I can be. I just got off the phone with my wedding coordinator, and not mine, like I'm not getting married, but I cater and I do event coordination for weddings, so we just booked another wedding like 2 weeks from now, and like we don't even have to marry the people, like they're going to a church and getting married, we just have to host the reception, so hell yeah.
So you're getting work again, Spencer? Because you were out for a while, right?
Yeah, because I
Okay.
mean that's like my primary form of income is catering weddings and event coordination, doing sound and lights and setup and tear down and all that good stuff. So
Oh, cool.
this will be the second one since everything started to resume normalcy. But
That's good.
the last one was really cool because everybody. Like it was a smaller wedding because we have to have like a 50% capacity than we normally would. But it was like really good. Like normally, like they go on till like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, but everybody was like really helpful, really expedient, and like the first wedding back was like perfect. So hopefully the second one. Just a reception, I think I'll be alright.
That's really cool, man. I didn't know you did that. How did you, if I can ask, how'd you get into that?
It's gonna be fucking funny, I'll tell you that much. My mother is the wedding coordinator. Yeah. She, oh, look at that. Look at those stripes.
She's like a flop. She's a flop in the form of a cat.
I've got one somewhere.
Your cat
It's
looks
under
like
the
mine,
table.
Spencer. Your cat looks a little bit like ours.
It does. Give me a whole second. I'm gonna fetch this feline.
Okay. Rin, how are you doing? Are you working again, right? Your dojo's opened up? No?
Nope. No, it's not open.
I thought you said...
We're trying to get clarification with the body on what we can and can't do. we're good to go, but obviously we have to take parents' sort of concerns into consideration. But I've been okay for the most part, but I'm just not having a good day today. I only just found out that one of our students was on the verge of committing suicide.
She is pissed. I just woke her up from a nap.
One of your students, what, Ren?
Was on the verge of committing suicide.
Oh, that's not
So,
good.
you know.
I saw you've been out in the forest a lot. You've been getting some good energy that way, right?
I can't sit at home. I've never been one to sit at home. Any
Yeah.
opportunity, that's it. I'm up and out. I've been out and about the whole quarantine, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think we have to. We have to. And because if you start to feel bad for feeling bad, you definitely need to get yourself out. I'm not one to sit at home either, Rin. I'm being forced to sit at home and deal with it. So when I feel bad, one of my mottos I keep telling everybody is just don't feel bad for feeling bad.
Yeah.
I have a lot of restrictions here, so I can go out for little walks and stuff, but you know, they make me put the mask on here. It's really, I'm in a really tight area, so there are days where we're all going to feel bad.
Just going outside, JoJo, they make you wear a mask?
They do here. If I go into town, like walking on Main Street, if I walk on the side roads, I'm okay. But even just the other day, Gary, I'm like crossing at dusk, you know, past the Little Caesars restaurant, and some gigantic guy, 6'3", overtowering me by a foot and change, probably outweighing me by almost 200 pounds. He literally stopped me for not having a mask on. And instead of like debating or saying some kind of research or something, I just thanked him politely, grabbed a tissue and put the tissue over my mouth and just, made an excuse like I was going home because I did not want any trouble from these people. People's tempers and brains are going to be, including our own guys. Like, we have to make decisions when something like that happens. I don't know where you guys are located, but
I had a similar situation, JoJo. Not a man. It was actually, I was going to a client's place yesterday. He's in the center of Portland. He's in like the 11th floor of this big old complex, and everyone in there, most of the people in there are on assisted living, so they are some form of been diagnosed with whatever. But you have to buzz yourself in somehow. The doors are locked, and I was going to, go in the door, and this woman came out with a mask on, and I was just like, thank you. I was about to go in, and she literally like threw a fit and wouldn't allow me to go in because it wasn't even because I wasn't wearing a mask. She was just like suspicious. And I just said, yeah, I have a client here and I see him twice a week. And, I was just trying to explain to her like that it would be all right. But she was literally like, I don't want to be seen on camera letting someone into this building. And I started kind of messing around with her a little bit and asking her, like, the COVID particles are not like going around the mask, and coming in I was kind of teasing her, but she just reacted with just anger, and eventually I was like, well, I don't need you to let me in, I'll get in somehow, so you can go on your way. I was literally telling her, like, just go, like, I don't want to interact with you anymore. And she, once the door closed, she was like, well, I can go now because, I'm not going to be seen on camera, letting someone in, an unknown. And she literally, like, walked away, called me an asshole, called me a jerk. And I was like, no, you're an asshole. And I was proud of myself because, I've never called out basically cunts for being cunts. But, she didn't really she didn't react. She just kept walking. She was like a zombie person, like a just angry, scared, mad, vindictive, righteously angry at me. She didn't give a shit at all about me as a human whatsoever. Zero. Just like a Matrix creature,
Yeah, I call the Matrix creature, they have like a rape murder mentality. It's not like they're physically attacking you, but they will rape and murder you with their words and mind actions, the stuff that comes out of their mouth or doesn't.
Yeah, it's weaponized programming. There was a movie, what movie was it? Was it Inception?
Inception was the dream one.
Yeah, remember when that girl, the guy was explaining to this girl, like, this, you know, this is you're essentially in your own imagination, and all of these people you see around you are also in your own imagination, and if you don't act up, then you'll be fine, but if you start acting up in there, all of these, you know, basically they're your subconscious entities that are running around, they're going to get angry at you for causing a, you know, scene in there, and they'll attack you. And I see this situation as very similar. Like we're in a, you know, co-created shared hallucination, you know, in this reality, and
similar to a virus.
Yeah, and if you make noise and you don't toe the line as far as how your strawman character is supposed to act, then these NPC bot creatures are literally programmed to, like, yell at you, scream at you, call you out for being whatever, and it's just because we're emotional and they're trying to get a reaction, because the Matrix also has to follow rules, and these creatures can't attack us unless we are internally reactive to them. That's why meditation is so important, because that's like the universal laws. They can't attack unless you're actually, like, internally wobbling.
Yeah.
It's similar to the Mr. Smith thing in the Matrix.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
It is, like, it's not a joke. This reality is the Matrix. It's a Matrix. It's not necessarily the only one, but there's no possible way you can look at outside and see how the creatures move around and say this is some organic, you know, Earth. No, this is some sort of
with many layers.
Many layers. We are incepted many layers.
We are incepted many layers. It's impossible to pick apart, guys. So, you know, it really is.
But
well, most days I tell Thomas, like, I have to pinch myself. I have to pinch myself that I'm experiencing this weirdness. It's so bizarre sometimes that you're so either inside of the Matrix or outside of the Matrix. I haven't figured out which one it is yet. But you literally have to pinch yourself that you're witnessing what you're witnessing in this Matrix. That's a hallucination.
yeah, and it's interesting, once you learn sort of the rule set, it's like the Matrix can't respond unless you are acknowledging that a certain reality has been created, because it's not even a quote real reality. It literally is like a shared dream state hallucination, and it's not physical in the sense that we remember from realms that are organically physical. It's not that. Like Omar, I remember he said he took DMT, shot up out of here, you know, did some things, came back, and he said he witnessed with his own eyes the reality repixelating itself back into some semblance of coherence, and like I don't know.
Yeah, it's stitched back together like a picture back when the internet was young, line by line, pixels, and then it snapped like a rubber band. The whole thing bounced like a fishbowl, and all of a sudden everything was like there again, and I just, what? Oh, fuck.
I can vouch for that.
It's all a mirror.
Yeah, it's a
You
whole
guys
of
ever
mirrors.
look in the sky and see like it looks pixelated just looking in the sky? You see the pixels
I
moving
haven't.
around
I
on the
haven't.
TV?
I haven't.
LED
I've
screen.
actually seen up in the sky a long time ago when I was a kid, many occasions, the curvature of a glass marble.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
So it's something I haven't seen since like 1993, 94. But I used to be able to see it anytime I looked up into the sky before then on a clear day.
Like, pinch yourself moment. Pinch yourself. Even just walking in a store, like I know we've spoken about this, Gary, when you walk into a store or an apartment complex and you're walking in as whether you want to call us an organic consciousness in NPC land, it's an experience. You do have to navigate like a little video game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the foremost thing to remember for me is that if you're not organic consciousness here, the entities, the Matrix characters, they are only interacting with your strawman, and as we know, the strawman entity only collects negative data. It does not collect positive data and put that on your record. Like, the whole realm is weaponized. That's simply how it is. It's not like it's not open for debate. Like, this is simply how I see it. and you have to be aware of that.
You know, it's real funny. Remember, I got $139 withdrawn from my bank account the other day from a company in Texas. I think I told you about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I contacted the bank because I would like that $139 back, and I didn't contract a cleaning service in Texas. I live in California. Luckily for me, the dumbasses put their phone number on the billing statement, so I just Googled it and figured out, that it was not something I bought.
Yeah.
And I was talking to the bank people, and all of a sudden, in the chat, they addressed me. They said, okay, we're now going to ask you some questions to fill out the dispute process. We're going to credit you the money that they took, and odds are, you'll get to keep it, but in the event that you don't, we'll mail you by U.S. postal mail, blah, 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 blah. But they put my name in all capital letters, and I was just giggling because I was like, oh, okay, now we're creating a legal record.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in this case, I'm actually happy that that existed, because if that dispute resolution thing wasn't there, that mechanism, I wouldn't have $139, and I would have no idea how it happened, and they're probably fucking snaking other people too.
Yeah, most definitely.
And most of the time, I don't even have people realize it, but the internet stuff that I'm putting out there for people, that costs a lot of money.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi, puppy. No, it's difficult. Like the whole realm is difficult. We're running out of time here for this particular one. I'm gonna open another Zoom session, so everyone who wants to come back for round 2, I will send it out to the same way that I did before. And we can...
just put it in the comments in that big thread you made.
Guys, it was nice meeting you guys and beautiful gal.
Yeah.
Thomas, I'll ring your chimes, all right?
We're doing round 2, Jojo. If you want to come back, otherwise, thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me, and it was really great seeing you face to face, even through the screen here. And it's
yeah.
important.
The connection.
Where's the rest of your face, just for like once?
The rest of what?
We only see you from your nose down this whole time.
See?
No,
I see the body.
I see the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Oh, there you are.
You mean you can't see me this way? You can
I guess
only
I should.
see
I
down?
guess I should. No, I see it all the way down to your torso.
The whole time.
I had it sitting on my bed, and I was sitting here playing with cards, guys. I had it sitting down on the bed.
Yeah, the whole time we've only seen your nose and your mouth and your throat.
No, that's just Omar.
I didn't
I've seen her.
say anything, for Christ's sakes.
Okay, we got.
We thought it was a preference.
Hi, Rebecca.
Did you zoom in?
Hey, we have 30 seconds, guys. Rebecca, come back, okay?
Huh? Guys, tell me next time. Let me know next time.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, I think he had zoom. I think he zoomed on the Zoom.
Yeah, he zoomed. He
I
zoomed.
just leave it on the thing where it changes whoever's face is on there, and I never saw any eyeballs.
No, I had it.
This
sitting
thing's
on
gonna
the
shut in
bed.
2 seconds. We'll come back, okay? Okay. Late deal.
Look, I found my dad
You found him?
in the Navy archives.
No way.
Right here.
Oh my god. That's crazy. Okay. Round 2. Oh, if anybody in the YouTubes wants to join, I'm gonna copy paste the Zoom link there as well. So YouTube people, if you want to hop on and give your 2 cents about this insane realm, feel free. But for now, we're gonna go like this. And let's see. Let's give one to Spencer. So this one will go for another 45 minutes or so. Then I'm going to take a break, and then I should have a guest on at 12 and then another guest on at 2. So if anybody has nothing better to do than to listen to what's going on in the Snail channel, stick around. And, yeah. Okay, Spencer's back. Let's put this one here. Oh no, I already did that.
It's finally about to storm here.
Spencer is back. Okay. Alright, what's up, Spencer? Welcome back.
Oh, hey there. I had to turn the light on. When I started the call, it was very, very bright outside, and I heard thunder one time, and now it's like dark as hell outside. So.
Yes.
Harp is Harp playing with your clouds?
Storm's blowing quick.
If Mike was here, he could just like manifest it himself. He's always got crazy ass clouds going on. Have you seen his videos, Spencer, at all? His YouTube channel's name is My Skies 5D. He's actually here in Oregon, but he, like, clouds literally form the weirdest, craziest shit and just like morph and transform in the videos, and it's they're just because of him. Like, he's manifesting them somehow. It's pretty crazy.
I don't know about conjuring or manipulating. All I know is I can bust through them on a citywide level, and I've done it before with a couple of other people. So, got the screenshots of weather radars to validate all that noise as well. That sounds interesting. That sounds like something
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I've only made them disappear. I haven't made them turn into balloon animals and shit. That's actually kind of clever.
I've heard.
I'll do disappear and I just flick my finger and say, "Go away." Disappears.
You know, the funny thing is, Thomas, I had my buddy sitting next to me, and I can see that big cloud there and that one in between. I'm going to make the one in between disappear. And he's like, watch the whole thing. And then he goes, bullshit, you didn't do that.
I told you I was going to.
I'm like, you want me to do it again? I'm hungry. I want a burrito now.
Well, when I see those planes up there throwing their little pile behind the plane, I just flick the plane out of the way, and it stops.
Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can get Rebecca back because she just came in like the last second.
She hopped right on.
Rebecca James. Let's see. I posted the link for this Zoom also in the YouTube section, so I'm hoping we might get a random guest from YouTube. That would be fun.
That would be fun.
Otherwise, I have if you guys have time, I'm having Sophia Maya back on. I have 2 more guests after this show. She's an artist. I've had her on the channel once, and then I have what's her name? Lauren Brown. I have her on it too, and I've been like waiting to have her on the channel literally for like 2 or 3 years. She has the most crazy story ever, and she finally was like, yeah, I want to come on, so hopefully she's going to come on it too, and that will be very fascinating.
That's cool. I'd like to hear her story.
Otherwise, yeah.
We all have a story, don't we?
Yeah. And they don't always necessarily match with each other, right?
And they don't always have to.
No.
Always.
It's not.
They may cross at certain points.
It's more fun that way, right? Hey, Michael Scordato. So we have like 13 people with us on the YouTube end. Yeah, I don't know. I feel the energy feels decent to me today. Like during this whole thing, the energy is like up and down, and sometimes I feel crazy, and sometimes I don't. But today feels more settled for whatever reason. So I'm happy about that part.
Yeah, I went to bed pretty in a tizzy, man. Like
last night.
I don't know what it was. I was just feeling so much animosity, and it was starting to translate itself into just like anger. And I'm like, go to sleep. sleep right now. That's not you, man.
Yep.
And transform that stuff.
Yeah, there are with the targeting bullshit, they can literally, if you have not bolstered yourself, they can just put signals that try to amplify anger and other emotions, and if you don't know what's going on, you will just feel angry, and then you'll simply project that onto whatever whatever person is around you or whatever. It's like the thing tries to negatively create your own reality for you, and it will if you're susceptible to that. You have to understand the situation and understand that
if you look at that anger and you look at yourself, you look into that and you say, hey, why am I angry?
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to be angry. I don't need to give a response.
Right. Yeah. See if there's an actual reason for it, because sometimes you just get triggers.
Deep into yourself, find out why you're angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And things like why you love, why are you compassionate. You have to look into those. Nobody looks into their shadow.
Yep.
Yeah, well, once you do, and once you figure out what you were just talking about, it gets really, really easy. I mean, nothing can really. I'm sure there's something, but for the most part, nothing throws me off. I'm super fucking calm and really, really good-natured. And I've done what you were describing for a long time, and I didn't get it for a long time either.
Yeah.
I think what it took was me realizing how bad drinking was. And once I finally got sober, I was able to look at all the thoughts that I was having, that I was ignoring, and just realize how beautiful everything was in ways that I hadn't seen in a decade or so since I had gotten assaulted.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to move out of the city I was living in that I loved and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the thing itself, like this realm itself, we are kind of like batteries for it in a sense. Like our observation helps it to exist in the first place, and it needs. If you don't pay attention, then you will just be in a low-lying level of angst the entire time, and that's because the thing's using you as a battery. So if you're not consciously creating your own reality, then something else is going to fucking create your reality, and it's going to drain your batteries while it's doing it, and you're not going to enjoy it. Hey, Rebecca, can you hear us?
Wouldn't you say it's a collective manifestation?
Well,
Yeah, for the organics.
Yeah.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, there's a psychic mind as well as, the individual mind, and there's all these levels, but it's kind of like a giant beach ball, and different layers, and they're all there. Yeah, that's definitely part of it.
Rebecca, can you hear? I can't hear you.
Hello.
You have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, your mic's on.
You always have to unmute yourself when you first come in. Nope, no audio.
Nope, it's like a Japanese movie. You gotta hit the thing again.
Is anyone fluent in lip reading?
Nope, she's muted.
She's
You
muted.
got to
We
pull the
can't.
bottom of the screen up. There's a mute button down there.
She's muted. It's
There, can y'all hear me now?
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, here we go.
How have you been, Rebecca?
I've been well. How about you, Gary?
Yeah, I'm good. Today I'm good.
Hi, Rebecca. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Oh, you haven't met Thomas yet? Thomas hasn't met you
No.
yet?
Oh, we've never met.
Cool.
Hi, Thomas.
How are you?
Hi, thank you.
Where are you at?
What's up?
Say, where are you?
I'm in Arizona.
Arizona?
Yeah. Where are you at?
Tennessee.
Okay.
What part?
I'm about 80 miles west of Memphis. A little place called Jackson.
Oh, okay. I've got some friends in Cosby.
Tennessee? I have a comment on the YouTube side. Let's see what you guys think of this.
Thomas, is that anywhere near you?
Where's what? What's the name of the town?
Cosby? Cosby.
I've never heard of Cosby.
Oh, okay.
Mandela
I
effect.
got some friends out there. They're running. Tennessee, I guess, has pockets.
What, Tennessee?
Yeah.
Pockets.
Well, because if you don't know where Cosby is, and I looked at the map, there's all these cities, and they're all like, I'd zoom in, and there's nothing there. There's like a shack and like some cows.
Well, you described Tennessee pretty good.
It seems like
I'm in the Bible Belt right here.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
So you feel loved? Lots of Christian brotherly love floating around you?
Yeah.
Okay, look, you guys just listen. I got something. I got to share this that this guy said. He says, "Yo, I was in a shop yesterday and had a bottle of beer in the shopping cart, and when I came to the counter, I went to touch the bottle and put it on the cashier desk, but the bottle exploded. I didn't even touch it, but as soon as my fingers came near to the bottle exploded. Boom. Can somebody explain this?"
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay, there's a number of ways that could happen. One, somebody in the back was an asshole and shook it. That's most likely. But on the metaphysical level, I have a friend that can make light bulbs explode by bringing his hand by them. I also know some people that can destroy computers when they're angry by just walking by them. So in that case, it's the human bioelectrical field that's creating feedback. And maybe he was having some really intense thoughts about not actually wanting to drink in his subconscious, and he blew it up.
Yeah, maybe that's your way, Lucas, of getting on the road to sobriety.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I remember I used to get angry at beer bottles watching them go into the trash can as I was drinking.
Why? Because they were out of...
Let me slide this into the trash can really quietly so I don't hear that glass clinking noise on the other one, and I'll just, go with that for a little while.
You didn't want to be aware that you were drinking?
Oh, I was aware.
He was sad that it was over.
You were sad
empty.
that the bottle was empty.
What? No, I was annoyed that I was putting another beer in the trash that I had just consumed, and that was like, oh yeah, I did do that. I'm holding an empty bottle in the trash.
There goes another one.
Another one bites the dust.
Well, of course I knew I was drinking. Like you end up sitting on the couch just staring off and disassociating from the yeast and doing all the weird things alcohol does. But I was just really, really upset with a lot of things, and I was really sad about a lot of things. And that was my way of being able to actually sleep that night. Until I got strong enough to sort out all that stuff on my own, sober.
Yep. As soon as I stopped drinking, like, the things that... It literally happened the same day, like, things that had been waiting and, I had been neglecting. Like, they literally showed themselves the minute that I stopped drinking, and I had to take care of it.
Yeah, same. And it's been 2 years now, this June. How about for you, Gary?
Right now, like, we're 2 days away from my year. I think it's May 26th.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a big drinker at one time, but 5 years ago, I just stopped it altogether. I found out what it was all about.
Mm-hmm.
But, like last night, that we had a pit fire, and I got a 6-pack of beer. It was hot. It was 90 degrees yesterday, so I wanted to relax.
Yeah?
So I chilled out.
So you
Smoked me a doobie and watched the fire. Had good conversations with some people.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was really good.
So you're able to partake of the substance and not have it take you over now?
No, not
That's
at all.
good. That's good.
Interesting. Well,
It's
I'm not going to chance that.
It's
but
not that way for everybody.
Yeah, it's not that way for everybody.
I just enjoy myself this way so much that I closed the door.
It's like a dance. If you're a particular type of person, like how I am, it's you literally start dancing with the substance, and it's just in your mind at all times, whether you want it or not. And it's the same thing with nicotine. Like, it acts as a substrate reality format, like scaffolding for your subconscious, and it keeps you feeling comfortable because you know the sort of like, you know, when you're going to go get more beer, you know, like the sort of activities you like to do while you're consuming these things, and it manages your reality for you.
Something to look forward to.
Something to look forward to in a realm that is not always happy.
Yeah,
Actually, it's called moderation.
Yeah, that's
willpower.
ideally.
Willpower and moderation. That's all it is.
Ideally.
well, I've got a lot of willpower, but I also like chasing dragons, so
Mm-hmm.
I have to, you know, play accordingly.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking to somebody that at one point was sitting there with his friend who's a neuroscientist, and we're at this party in the middle of the woods, and he went and got a new vial of acid from the guy that owed him one. He looks at it and he laughs at me. He pours half of it in his freaking gullet and swallows it, and I was like, really? And the dealer looked at him and said, bye-bye. And I was like, what to do? And the guy goes, my friend looks at me and said, remember, we just got done reading Albert Hoffman's book. And he puts his finger up and he goes, there's no known human depot dose. The effects only appear to grow stronger. And I was like, fuck it. And I drank the other half of the vodka and had the strongest trip of my fucking life. We had been 30 hits in at that point already, so.
Wow.
Almost got the tail. Almost got it.
So,
Fuck, that burns.
we have a question. What do you guys think about using marijuana? I've heard a lot of both sides, whether it be good or bad. In my experience, being high every day is not as profitable as using it occasionally.
None of us are doctors, and none of us are allowed to give out medical advice, but we can share our opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's where moderation comes in again.
Especially with how Sue happy the fucking world is right now.
Omar is leading with a disclaimer. That's very good.
Well, it's important because people are confused and they're looking for advice, and we're not qualified to give it.
Right. I don't feel like doctors are qualified to do anything nowadays.
No, they're not, but neither are we.
Yeah.
So I stopped smoking weed for about 3 years, and just recently started again. Got my medical card again, and what I noticed was that it is very much now just something that happens here and there, and it's a non-event. I'm not worried about whether or not I have more. It's very relaxing. It's psychotropic. It brings me into an experience, you know, like the first time I smoked, where I'm perceiving things that I didn't know. I mean, I knew they were there, but they're stronger, you know, vice versa. But the whole point is doing it occasionally versus doing it all the time. You're actually going to get a lot of benefit out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mr. West said, if I smoke every day, it has a dulling effect, so I enjoy on occasion. I think that's how it is with most of these substances, is you will create a tolerance, and not only is it going to have some deleterious effect on your body, but you're also not going to enjoy it as much. So
Yeah, so the same way, if you smoke too much, you're just going to be laying there in your bed like, oh, fuck.
Right.
Don't move.
Yeah,
That's why I partake on occasion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Thomas, have you ever smoked so much you're just sitting there and you're like, I don't think I can move right now?
Not really.
Man,
I might have-
levels like that.
I may have when I was younger, but I don't do that now.
They don't have hash in Tennessee, do they?
They do.
Yeah, you can get anything you want.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure they have hash everywhere.
Maybe the weed in California is weird because they've got some stuff here where I swear to God, you like look at it and you're already stoned.
I haven't seen the good hash since the 70s, though.
Is it all chemically altered now?
No. You
Well,
can find
it's
stuff.
homemade.
They don't put they don't go all the way, and the final extraction they keep for themselves, and then they make another product out of it. Most people are making what's called rosin now, and selling it as hash, and that's actually just the rubbings of the trichromes that are on the stems.
Resin?
It doesn't even have leaf in it. True hash, you take the entire plant and chop it up, and then you sieve it and go through a process where you're different bags to make it. You get all of it, and 1 gram of actual real good hash will last you at least a month if you're smoking it every day. It's really strong. But now kids are spending $50 on this rosin stuff, and it lasts about a week, and they're like, oh, we need more. When I was in Egypt, I smoked hash that the boat captain gave me, not the boat captain, the head chef of the boat, food captain. And he gave me a piece the size of half a pinky fingernail. And I spent, it happened on the last night of the cruise, and I spent all night trying to smoke that thing. I was so fucking high that I could not even finish it, and I threw half of it into the Nile. I said thank you, and then, so I was out on the deck on the boat. It had this teeny little deck with 2 chairs on it, and behind me, right behind me, I could touch it with a slider door to get into the room. It took 45 minutes to get out of the chair, and I was on all fours, and it took another 20 minutes to open the slider door, and then it took me like another hour to figure out how to crawl 3 feet into the bed, and then it took another 20 minutes to get into the bed. It was the funniest fucking thing I'd ever seen.
You was fucked up.
I was fucked up.
Was there anybody witnessing this, or was it just you?
Oh, I was trying not to wake my sister up, sleeping in the bed in there.
Yeah, he's
It was
watching
bad.
himself outside of his body, like, come on, just go
And then, of course,
further.
in a country, of course, where you can get arrested for saying the wrong thing, I have to figure out where to put this water bottle, which smells to high hell like hash. I didn't want to just throw it in the Nile. So I had to figure out where to put that the next day. But funny thing, on the same trip, we were hanging out with the boat guy and the crew in a restaurant in town, and we were, you know, imagine like a movie where nobody speaks English and everybody, you know, is very Middle Eastern because you're in Egypt. And you see these police people walk in, and you're holding a big fucking joint, half full of hash, and by big joint, I mean it's a big joint. Big joint. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, those people have M16s and they're wearing uniforms. Under the table, I'm passing the joint to the Swedish girl. Here you go. And I'm like kicking her in the, you know, take this. And like putting it in her hand. She's like, oh, that's hot. I'm like, it's your turn. I don't want to be holding that right now.
I'd just like to thank you, Omar, for giving us a good laugh.
Yeah.
It was a good trip. Well, that's half of the rhyme here, so.
We're trying to all have a good trip. Fabian's still trying to come in. I don't know. He's having all kinds of troubles. The whole reason I did Zoom was because I wanted to see Fabian again, but Fabian is not able.
Yeah, we did this for you, Fabian. But it's okay. Zoom works too. Just currently, there's like a lot of security problems with it.
Yeah, that's what I heard. There's security problems with everything.
Security is a problem.
Hi, Susie. I have a Steven in the chat saying he's been on the show. I'm trying to think who it is. I don't think it's Lawson. I think it's somebody else.
Spencer, you brought up a really interesting point in a nutshell. Security is this funny thing that we have with the internet that doesn't exist, but it's a thing that we're told exists because we're dealing with a thing that we can't touch, and that makes people feel good.
Whatever leaves them feeling good, whatever leaves them feeling secure.
Grounded?
Well, so you have a bunch of people in a room, right? They can all see each other. If somebody acts out a hand, one guy could get up and go, hey, get out of my cave. But with the internet, nobody's actually there. So how do you deal with that? You tell people that it's secure.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Well, all internet traffic flows through DARPA servers, so nothing is actually secure.
DARPA sure as hell
I
is.
think we all see that. We just we know, we're aware of that situation, but you just don't have to play into it.
Most people aren't aware of that situation, but you're absolutely correct.
I just
Yeah, you don't play into it.
I just assume that every waking moment of my life I'm being observed by whoever the fuck, and I just make sure that whatever I'm doing I'm okay with. If if it were brought out to public tribunal, then that's how I behave myself, because I feel like everything is watched at all times and nobody knows what's what. But for the most part, the idea is to allow the conscious beings in this little video game to feel like they have some privacy, a little bit of privacy, even though it's not really there. It's more like it just helps you to feel like you have some. It's not there.
Yeah.
It's a
Well
joke.
said. It's a nice ideological construct.
It's a joke.
I know.
And the thing is like the negative beings here who have been, running amok. They have been able to do things without being witnessed, and the collective trauma of all those doings is starting to come out, because like that angsty energy has to go somewhere. It's gonna go congeal and create a Nibiru or a like. Have any of you guys read Chasm? Have you read Chasm?
No.
Please read Chasm. It's going to tell you. It's going to give its own version of what black goo is. But it's basically the idea is that humans have all these emotions and something has to happen with them because they're like physical things. It's like a flow of It's like a canal. Like your body is a network of canals, and the emotions are certain types of liquid that go through the canals. And if that liquid has to go somewhere if it's not properly transmuted and burned out within oneself. And the idea is that since a lot of people are stuffing their emotions here, they have to go somewhere. So they all go to one place, and they congeal in that one place, and they create like what you would know as a hell realm. Some people say like Nibiru or Planet X is the actual congealing of all these negative emotions, and there are just like semi-conscious beings in there just, vibrating in pain because they just gravitated toward that direction. And Chasm, the idea, is a similar idea that all these negative emotions congealed into a sentient, self-aware substance that actually went around and animated, puppet bodies that have lost their former occupants. It's a very interesting book.
Gary, who wrote this book?
I can look it up. Let me see. It's very good. Chasm book. Chasm. What? I'm not even finding it. Maybe it's not in this reality anymore.
Is it called Crossing the Chasm?
No, it's just called Chasm. CHASM. I ordered it on Amazon.
Yeah, that's awesome. I don't see it.
I think it disappeared from this reality.
Would it be Schism or
Does it exist?
No, I definitely read it.
Was it called Schism?
No, it was called Chasm.
Oh.
It's not existing anymore. That's very interesting. Maybe they don't want people talking about that.
Another Mandela effect.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
the only book that I was able to find was called Crossing the Chasm, Marketing and Selling High-Tech Products.
I'm gonna look at my bookcase real quick. This is gonna piss me off.
They changed the name on the book, Gary. Time Travelers at Work Again.
Yeah. All my Philip K. Dick books are still here.
You have to be some busy motherfuckers if they're time travelers to change everything when they come back. Especially if it's got to do with any kind of symbology.
Mm-hmm. There's a real interesting book that I think you guys might like that I can put on my tribes or send you a link to. It's called Psychic Dictatorship in America. It was written in 1940.
Oh. Who wrote that one?
A guy by the name of...
It wasn't Eustace Mullins, was it?
No, she writes some interesting books, though.
Alex Constantine.
Alice Constantine. I don't think I heard of him.
Let me look at my my library website, bitdrop.org.
Yeah, Chasm
Gerald-
looks like it's going. That's weird.
Gerald B. Bryan.
Did you e-book that one, Gary? Did you buy the physical book?
I bought the physical book. It's not in my bookcase.
Oh shit!
No, fuck you. It's in your bookcase. You're playing with this.
No, I'm not joking. It's not in the bookcase.
The little penguins are busy at work, ain't they?
Is it a Penguin book? Penguin Publishing?
I don't know what it is. I just know I had the physical book.
Okay, so I just put the link in the chat to the book that I'm talking about.
And I know for sure it's called Chasm. I know for a fact it's just CHASM. I know for a fact.
It's URL encoded though, and it's really annoying. I could make a short link for it, but just if you want to read the book, open the chat, pop a link to it, so you have it.
What are you giving a link for, Omar?
Psychic Dictatorship in America.
Okay, I got you.
It's surprisingly good.
All right, I opened the link up, so I'll give that some attention at some point.
Okay.
You know, this is like a full-on Mandela for me. Like, I've never seen such a physical example of something physically disappearing from my life. It might be in here somewhere.
I got a good one. The day that I stopped drinking, I lost my ATM card. I hadn't seen it since.
Yeah.
Literally, I looked everywhere. It was gone. Moved apartments, unpacked, gone.
Yeah. ATM machine, automatic teller machine.
I almost think it went to Texas, and they actually found my card. It teleported itself, and that's how they got my $139.
There you go.
Just open a new
Loose
bank.
ends.
Open a new bank. So, okay, do you guys think there's any value in actually putting energy to trying to, like, combat or change the straw man situation? You know, the whole man of the land, you know, becoming sovereign. I know some people say that that's a thing. I've considered it, but I want to hear your all ideas on whether that could even be reasonable or if it's too much pain in the ass.
No, I think the only action play is to turn the other way and do whatever the hell you want to do instead.
Yeah, that's pretty much my thing. I think you even acknowledging its existence plays into the narrative.
And as long as you're not hurting anybody, nobody's going to bother you.
Yeah. Yep. Let me see what's going on in the channel.
Next topic.
We got 19 people with us on YouTube. It's good.
Yay.
Susie, yeah, Susie. It's a book. It's just called Chasm. I don't know.
I tried to look it up. It's nowhere around.
It's gone.
So
like,
it disappeared.
it disappeared.
I looked it up.
When did you read it?
I read it like 2 years ago.
Shit.
I'm usually good at finding books, too. I couldn't find it either.
Like, I can tell you the storyline. This kid, he's like a, I don't know, high school student. He got really, really pissed off at his principal or his vice principal for basically being a douche, and he was having to scrub toilets and stuff in the school bathroom, and the guy that he was mad at was in there also, and this kid he started getting more and more mad, and rage started pouring out of him, and he eventually like smashed his fist against the side of the bathroom wall. And then he heard all this rumbling start to happen outside, and the building started caving in on itself, and, you know, everyone started running around screaming, you know, nobody knew what was going on. He went outside, and literally, like a gorge, a chasm, whatever you call it, canal, a big thing opened up in the ground, and like the town started falling into it, right? So, like, a bunch of people died of his friends and families and neighbors, and it became a sort of dystopia immediately. And the whole storyline is him navigating through this post-apocalyptic world, but it had been caused by his anger. Like, it was a really good book. I don't know how it disappeared, but that sucks.
Stephen Law's Chasm.
You found it?
You found it?
Yeah, 1998, 546 pages.
That's really funny because that's like really close to Stephen Lawson's name, and Stephen Lawson is another buddy.
Yeah, sure, that's my thought too.
That's hilarious. Okay, so let me look that up. How was it hiding you?
I looked on Bing. Fuck Google. There's one by James Bruno called Chasm on Amazon.
Stephen Law's Chasm. Yeah, that's it. It tried to disappear it from me. Google tried to disappear it.
I bet it's on your shelf now.
Yeah, I'm going to check again.
Again.
No, but really, go... Everyone, if you like reading, go read that book. It's very, very, very good. I wonder if it will appear on Amazon now because we've brought it back into the reality.
It popped up.
Yeah, it came up. I finally found it.
Oh, how about that?
I cannot.
Yeah.
Neat. Saving the world one book at a time.
Right? Why are you trying to disappear our good books? Fuck off with that shit. Chasm, yeah, it's here. It's expensive. On YouTube, on Amazon, it's $18.
Little glitch in the matrix.
That's crazy. The whole thing tried to hide it from us for literally like 15 minutes.
Yeah, it did. We were all here for it.
Well, we may have manifested to come back.
Maybe.
I'm very diligent, and I don't know how to not pick out a scab, so I don't stop until
I'm pretty proud of you, Spencer. That was work right there. You just put in some major realm work. That was good.
So.
Yeah, Spencer, neither does my sister. She's the kind of person that, given the wrong kind of drugs, and a mere a week later she'd come back and, her face would be all picked to bits.
Oh, man. Thanks.
It's a good skill to have if you're in quality control or customer service.
The diligence. That stubborn persistence. If I didn't have an iota of that, I don't know where I'd be.
Well, it's just energy in the wrong place. She would have been it's a good skill, if you apply it correctly.
Is she still in the same situation, Omar? Is she still running around, doing the thing?
She's trying, but she's definitely not there yet.
Okay. Well,
she hasn't talked to me in months, so I assume that she's got a full plate right now.
yeah, I remember Fabian was saying he was trying to talk to his kid. He has a 15-year-old kid, and he said his kid told him he can't because he has no time. He's got no time. No time to talk to his dad. And there's nothing going on. There's no school. There's no work. How do you not have time?
Yeah, well, kids are like that. I mean, I look at her Facebook page. I'm not trying to ignore her, but just give her a lot of space.
Wait. Oh, your sister, right?
Yeah.
Rebecca, you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing really good, actually.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What do you do out there in Arizona?
What do I do out here in Arizona? I do some gardening. I have a job. I have a normal job.
Matt, you manage like a grocery store or something, right?
Yeah. I do all the price integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a lot more fun than when I thought you meant normal job, because normal job is like you have to put on a suit or something fancy and go pretend to be nice to people with no sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's some of that, but no, it's pretty chill.
Yay.
What part of Arizona are you in, Rebecca?
I'm in Chandler.
Nice.
Oh, that's where my sister's ex-husband lives. He lives in Gilbert.
Okay, yeah. Gilbert's the voted safest community in the United States 3 years running, something like that. I'm not sure. But
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Gilbert's a nice town.
It's
Grown
like
quite a bit.
the next town over, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I haven't
And
been
Spencer,
to...
where are you? Are you in Texas?
Houston.
You're in Houston?
Yes. Oh, well, north. I'm about as far north of Houston as you can get, still being in the greater Houston area. So, yeah, I live in the woods.
That's where we are right now, but it's not like that because we have the wrong type of people around us. But we want to. Our eventual goal is to get into the woods where we only have right type of people around us. That's what we want to do. Not just Matrix characters. Anywho, we have a minute left. This has been really good. I'm happy for the turnout.
I'm really glad to see everyone.
Yeah. You forget about your own humanness if you're just interacting with the Matrix. Like it just drains you. And this type of thing, like these are important. They literally they feed, you know, they feed your soul. It's very good.
We all got to cross our paths together on this moment. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas got to meet Rebecca, right? We got JoJo.
Yeah, very nice to meet you.
I've never met Spencer either. I've never met him before either.
Spencer's a good guy.
It's really nice seeing people and communicating.
Yeah. That's what we do. We got 10 seconds. Again, thank you, everybody. It's been beautiful.
Love y'all.
There will be more
Thank
shows
y'all.
coming up. All right. Take care. Okay. I ended it. It didn't end it. That's what I wanted. Later. Okay. Everybody on the YouTube side, thank you for hanging out. And I will have another live coming up with Sophia Maya at 12, assuming that she's all right. And then I'll have also Lauren Brown coming on at 2. Of course, I can't guarantee that those will actually happen, but that's what's scheduled. So if you have the next 3 or so hours open, then feel free to hang around. So I'm going to end this live, but it will probably start up again somewhere around 12. And if not 12, then 2. So thank you, everyone. 12 o'clock is the next one. All right. Peace.